Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I have glasses now, in case you didn't know that. I want to talk about the problems in Congress. And the reason why I want to talk about this really quickly before my battery dies, it's been on the news lately about the impeachment of Trump. And the reason why this hasn't really gone through in Congress, in the House of Representatives, is because of this one idiot named Nancy Pelosi. If you don't know who Nancy Pelosi is, she is the House Speaker. So in the House of Representatives, there's a Speaker. She's basically like the leader. So her name's Nancy Pelosi, and she's an idiot. You know, she has this theory that if most of the American people based on polls, don't want Trump to be impeached, then she doesn't want to go through it. But look, at the end of the day, that's a huge problem, because maybe half or less than half of the Democrats in the House of Representatives want Trump impeached. They want to begin the process to impeach him. Now look, at the end of the day, let's be real and realize that Trump is not going to get impeached. Even if they do start an impeachment process, Trump is not going to get impeached, because at the end of the day, Congress is really controlled by the Republicans. So it's just not going to happen. And you need a certain majority. I don't know these specific rules, but you need a specific majority to impeach the president. Anyway, but that's not the problem. The problem becomes the message that this is going to send, the precedent that this is going to set. So at the end of the day, if you go through the impeachment process, it's going to tell the president that, one, Congress is not going to allow you to act the way you've been acting. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't go through the impeachment process, Trump has that's a win for Trump. If they don't go through the impeachment process, that's a win for Trump. Trump is saying, you know what? I did this, that, and the third, and I still didn't get impeached. And that's a problem, because that just sets the standard for all other racist-ass people that want to become president to go ahead and become president. At the end of the day, starting an impeachment process, it's there to like set a standard. You know what I'm saying? It's there to send a message that at the end of the day, Congress is not going to stand by and let Trump do whatever he wants. And I think that's extremely important. It's been a long time, and Trump has been doing whatever he wants since he became president, and the Democrats have done absolutely nothing about it. He said absolutely racist stuff about people in Congress and states. Look in the news and you'll see what he said about Baltimore. Look in the news and you'll hear what he said about the 4 women in Congress. So he's been doing this for a long time, and the Democrats are just kind of like scared to do anything. And if this is what Congress is about, then this country is going to shit. This country is going to shit. Now, that's the first problem with Congress and Nancy Pelosi and basically the leaders in the House of Representatives that want to play this political game. Number 2, the next problem in Congress are the Republicans. Now, they're not a problem in Congress because they're Republicans. They're a problem in Congress because, like Alexandria Cortez said, the Republican Party has become more of a loyalty to Trump rather than an actual party with actual ideals. Like, they're no longer voting on laws based on their beliefs. They're no longer voting on laws based on what the laws are going to bring to the people. They're voting on laws based on whether it's what the president wants. And it's ridiculous. Every single time that Trump says some racist shit, or every single time that Trump says something that's just out of this world, and the Republicans don't say anything about it. If anything, they try to defend it. But let me tell you the third problem, and this problem is probably the most important problem of all, and it's not really just aimed at Congress, but it's aimed at everything in general, just this country in general. But I think one of the biggest problems, and I'm gonna say one of the biggest problems in this country, is the fact that people that hold offices are oftentimes can't relate to the people that they represent. For example, let's take Betsy DeVos. If you don't know who Betsy DeVos is, I don't know if that's how you pronounce her last name, but whatever. She's a Secretary of Education. This woman had never stepped into a public school in her entire life, yet she's the Secretary of Education. How does no one see that problem? She's in charge of millions of students that go to public schools. She doesn't know what it's like, and she's in charge of this. Same thing goes for communities at a smaller level. Look at police officers. If you look at police officers, for example, in the Bronx, we need police officers that represent those in the Bronx, meaning we need more Black and Hispanic cops in the Bronx. We don't need more white cops. We really freaking don't. Especially if there's just not enough, there's no white people in the Bronx. Especially in the southern part of the Bronx, there's no white people there. So why are the majority of cops white there? Think about how that doesn't make sense. People that are in office should represent and should be able to connect with the people that they represent. They should be able to understand the problems. You know, that's why I personally feel like Alexandria Cortez was a good choice for her district in the Bronx and Queens, or whatever she represents. I think she was a good choice. She understands the struggles. Not that much, but she does. Look, the majority of people in Congress are white, and yes, there's been an increase in minorities holding office, but that's just not enough. If there's going to be a person making laws for a certain group of people, that person should come from that group of people, should come from that background. If there's someone representing the Bronx, it should be someone that comes from the Bronx. If there's someone representing education and schools, it should be someone that knows what it's like to go to public schools. Because Betsy DeVos is all about charter schools. That means that public schools are going down the drain. Many public schools are closing because of this performance review. And nobody seems to talk about why the public schools are failing. They just talk about the fact that it should be closed and that charter schools are a better option for it. I personally don't feel like there's a problem with the two-party system. You know, I personally don't. A lot of people feel like, yeah, we should have more parties, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but I think, look, the way the government is set up, I think it's perfectly fine. I just feel like people are so uninformed about politics, and that's why I made this channel. People are so uninformed about politics that they're voting for the most popular candidate when that candidate's never been to your neighborhood. And look, this is why I appreciate Bernie Sanders so much, because his first rally was held in South Bronx. His first rally. What other candidate has done that? None. Literally, I remember when I was in 2000, I don't know what year it was. I'm not gonna do the math, but I was in 11th grade, and Bernie Sanders was just the senator from Vermont, and my class wrote letters to Bernie Sanders. Now, mind you, our senators are Kirsten Gillibrand, and Chuck Schumer. It's not Bernie Sanders. Yet here we were writing letters to Bernie Sanders because he was the only person that was talking about education, budget cuts to education that year. So that just goes to show, like, that's why I love Bernie Sanders, because I knew about Bernie Sanders way before he ran for president. It's not just I hopped on the bandwagon type of thing. Like, I knew about this man, and you know, he's been amazing since the guy was born. Anyway, but that's beside the point. Again, I think people should be more informed. I think people that come from these neighborhoods like the Bronx, like the southern Bronx, like, they should just run for office. And that goes for me too. Like, honestly, I want to run for office, but I'm too shy. But anyway, that's the problem. Those are just 3 of the top problems in Congress. There's many more, but I'm gonna end this here because my battery's about to die. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Leave your thoughts down below. I know, like, people hate government. They just don't even know why they hate government, and they're so, like, uninformed about things. And I'm not coming at people, but I kind of am. You know, people need to be informed. Like, stop reading Facebook comments and thinking that that's the way it is. Stop it. Stop getting your news from Facebook. Stop. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.